When we die, what happens to all our wishes, our hopes, our longings, our memories, our disappointments, our loves, our hates? What happens to all that when we die? Do they just stop? When you see a dead body, it's clearly only matter. There's something missing from it, something that we could call the life force. And that life force could be what I just described, the sum of everything that drove us along, that made us who we were. I was describing it as an old kind of computer memory, which was made up of little magnets, which could be magnetized one way or the other. And when this memory was accessed, a program could run. Magnets are physical things, but magnetic fields aren't. You cannot see a magnetic field directly. You cannot experience forces directly, only the effects of forces. So I think that describing the soul or the jiva as a life force is a fair way of describing things. But this is just a story, remember. This is just a story. And stories are useful in their own ways. So we've got this life force then, the jiva. Wherever it roams in space, the jiva, which is of the nature of prana, or life force, sees whatever forms are conjured up by its previous vasanas, or impressions. Our hopes, our longings, our disappointments, and everything else make an impression on us. Whatever happens makes an impression on us. We're impressionable beings. We might think we're not impressionable, in which case we make a point of being not impressionable. But that again is one of our vasanas. It's one of our tendencies which make us who we are. These previous impressions are destroyed only by intense self-effort. These impressions are what we identify with. It's what we believe makes us who we are. The way to destroy them is to stop identifying with them. Look at what's doing the identifying and identify with that. Even if the mountains were pulverized and the worlds dissolved, one should not give up self-effort. Every situation is an opportunity for self-effort. Even heaven and hell are but the projection of these impressions or vasanas. These vasanas, these impressions, colour our experience, colour how we perceive the world. This vasana arose in ignorance and foolishness, and it ceases only on the dawn of self-knowledge. The vasana is what is intrinsic to your sense of who you are. And once you've stumbled upon your true identity, the nature of your awareness, then this is the dawn of self-knowledge and the beginning of your freedom from vasanas. What is jiva except vasana or mental conditioning, which again is vain imagination or thought form? He who is able to abandon this vasana while yet living in the body in this world is said to be liberated. He who has not abandoned vasana is in bondage, even if he is a great scholar. So vasana or vasanas are the constituents of your psyche, of your whole identity. The Lord continues to instruct Arjuna. Thus abandoning mental conditioning, be a liberated soul. Be calm and cool within and give up sorrow caused by relationship. This isn't just relationship with other people. It's our relationship with everything that's going on. We see ourselves as part of some kind of storm of experience within which we have to find a rock to cling to. This is what we mean by relationship. Finding a rock to cling to in the middle of the storm of life. we can let go. And we won't be swept along and battered around. We'll find our true identity. So it's not saying here to give up relationships, but to give up the sorrow caused by relationship. So that's an important point. And that sorrow is our sense of personal drama. So be calm and cool within. You can only be calm and cool within once you've touched your true identity, once your attention attends to itself, once your desires have turned back upon themselves. Abandon even the least doubt concerning old age and death. Have a vision as expansive as the sky. Be free from attraction and hence from aversion too. It's the personality that dies. It's the personality that eventually peters out. You can identify with that, or you can identify with the self. But it's not you that's identifying with the self. The self is the self. It's completely uncoloured by your personality. This is what we can identify with. So in this way, we have to die before we can realise our immortality. We have to die in the sense that we have to give up all notions of who we are. And this is where we're usually advised to not grieve for what seems to be lost. For in losing this identity, we gain everything, because everything is happening within us, or within the awareness. And this is a vision which is as expansive as the sky, because the sky contains everything. Whatever action is natural to you, do that. In other words, get on with what needs to be got on with. Nothing perishes here. This is the nature of a liberated sage. It is only the fool who thinks, I shall do this now, and I shall abandon this now. This is when we're trying to coordinate our lives, trying to optimize our experience. If you're caught up in spiritual training of some kind or mental training, then you're very concerned about what's conducive to positive mental states and what's conducive to negative mental states. You need to be free from that. You can carry on doing it. You know, it's like looking after your body. You look after your body and mind. But don't do that in the understanding that you're achieving some kind of spiritual liberation. You're simply getting on with your life and hopefully doing a good job of it. But the next step is to get beyond notions of doing this and abandoning this,